Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org. This is PBS Reno Arts. I am Dave Santina in the studio at PBS Reno in Reno, Nevada, and excited because we are getting into summer. And one of the things that I love about summer is a concert series that happens every summer in Carson City, and the man responsible for all of that is here today. More than just that, but that was what sparked my excitement. Spike McGuire is here, Executive Director of the Brewery Arts Center. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, David. It was a pleasure to be here.
Fortuitous, because we just recorded in our studio here a membership special for the Artifacts series, and you were generous enough to come in and be an interviewee to talk about what you do, and so I'm going to make you do it again, only longer.
Hey, if there's one thing I love doing, it's talking.
Excellent. So this is how many years of the BAC now?
So we are currently celebrating our 50th anniversary.
Okay.
Which took a bit of reverse engineering to figure out exactly when we should make that declaration from.
Yeah.
But they signed the Articles of Incorporation that started the whole thing on September 19th, 1975. So we've just been doing a full-on anniversary year. We kicked it off with our Mural Festival last year. It will end at our Mural Festival this year. A little while ago, we did a big 50-year anniversary gala that was just an absolute ball. Well, it wasn't a ball. It was a gala, but it was a great time is what I'm getting at.
Well, a lot of fun. And there's so much going on over there that I figure we should reintroduce for those who maybe haven't been in a while, or those who haven't ever been or don't understand yet what the Brewery Arts Center is.
Yeah.
Could you just introduce the Brewery Arts Center to a layperson who's never been?
Absolutely. Well, we take up 2 blocks on the historic west side of our capital here in Nevada, Carson City. And it is called the Brewery Arts Center because we are in Nevada's oldest multi-story commercial building, which was originally the Carson Brewing Company.
Okay.
So if you've never heard of us before, let me alleviate the confusion now. We are not a brewery. We are an art center, and that is an homage to the history of the building. And that's not even the only building we have. So if you go in the brewery building, I think that's the easiest way for me to lay it out to give people the idea. So if you go in the brewery building, you go into our exhibition hall where we have rotating works from artists. Ever since I've been there, I have made sure that it is really a priority that we're showcasing Nevada artists in there, because I think we just have such an amazing art and culture scene across the state, not just here.
Yeah, it's fair to say.
Eastern Nevada, Southern Nevada, like there is really tremendous works in all mediums, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's dance, whether it's theater. We're just a remarkably cultured state. So I'm trying to keep all of our focus there. Above the exhibition hall is the Grand Ballroom, which was the original Masonic Lodge. So sometimes we'll do small concerts up there. We have a lot of meetings in there. It's a very rentable space, just a nice ballroom area. And then we get into our annex building where we have the Maisie Theater, which is a 135-seat black box theater. Proscenium Players are a resident theater company there. They are the second oldest theater company in Nevada. They do 3 productions a year, and we have a lot of visiting theater companies come through as they're touring by with productions. That leads you to the NAA Gallery, which is an independent competition-based gallery, which is a really great place that a lot of artists are showing their work for the first time, and there's a lot of more established artists too, and it's just a really important part of the ecosystem to keep those new artists moving in. They're changing their shows every month, so tons of new stuff coming through the space. And as you pass the NAA, you get into our education wing, where we have a pottery studio, a painting studio, and a multi-purpose classroom. Then you head across Minnesota Street, which is part of the campus. So the city actually deeded us the street in between our 2 blocks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we are working on a major campus unification plan right now, so you can look out for that in a little bit in the future. But across the street is another historic building. So the Brewery building, that's on the National Historic Register. The other building was formerly St. Teresa's Catholic Church. It is on the State Historic Register. And it is now a 250-seat performance hall.
Wow.
So we have a resident theater company over there as well. Wild Horse Children's Theater puts on 3 productions a year. It's also just an incredible hall to catch a concert. So we have the Loudest Folk Songwriter series that appears in there monthly.
Cool.
Again, lots of visiting artists, lots of visiting companies. Sierra Nevada Forums does great kind of just nonpartisan community discussions in there once a month on a variety of topics. And then if you go down into the subterranean layer, the basement of that building, we have 95.1 FM KNVC, which is a public broadcast station.
And I'm familiar with those kinds of stations.
Yeah. And also Carson now just moved their office down there as well. So that's kind of the community media center.
Gotcha. So is that all? Gee.
Well, that's all for the inside of the building.
Oh my gosh. There's so much going on there.
There's quite a bit more outside. So I was heavily involved with a lot of the mural festivals that have happened across Nevada, put on by Eric Brooks, who is now the arts and culture program manager for Visit Carson City. So one of the first things when I got down there, I was like, Brooks, we've mastered the art of doing these mural festivals, because I would always get the bands for him and be the entertainment director. So we did that my first year there. We've done it every year since, and we've put over 70 new murals across Carson City.
Wow.
And quite a few of those are at Brewery Arts Center. So even if you come by and we're closed, there's, I think, 7 or 8 murals you can walk around the campus and see. We are working on expanding our sculpture garden behind the performance hall. Lots of other little sculptures kind of spread throughout. We have a Harmony Park, which is a really fun musical sculpture garden where kids can just come and learn the joys of music.
I have enjoyed myself on many occasions at the Harmony Park.
Yeah.
It's really fun. And so, you can go in and just play with sound and see what happens when you hit a thing with another thing, and the sound is, and how do you do that when you hit the thing on another thing after that. And it's fascinating.
It is, and they make it easy for you because all the things next to each other that you can hit are all notes that are going to work together. So you can get out there and feel like a rock star.
Thus the name Harmony Park, right?
That's right.
Oh, it's beautiful. So the thing that's coming up that's a big deal that inspired me to say, I gotta take advantage of the fact that you're in the building.
Yeah.
Is this summer concert series, which has become like a staple now of Carson City. People look forward to it, and they come from all over.
They do, yeah. It brings people far and wide, and all the credit in the world goes to my predecessor, Gina Lopez, for bringing this in. It was a major, major turning point for the Brewery Arts Center, and really reintroduced us to the community and has allowed us to build in the way that we have. So we have our own mobile stage, giant full production, tons of lights, all the bells and whistles, the banners, and which they did not have year one. We acquired that a couple years ago with the success continuing to grow of the series. And it's just an amazing thing. We get about 2,000 people out there every week. You bring your own chair. We've got stacks of chairs too, so if you don't bring your supplies, you can certainly get by between our provided chairs and the food trucks and the kids zone, and there's no planning required. But also, if you want to bring a picnic, we don't stop anyone from doing that.
That is good to know.
And it's all part of the Levitt Family Foundation, which I just want to touch on that real quick so people kind of understand where the series is coming from. It all started when Mortimer and Mimi Levitt, who had made a fortune in the garment industry, extended their philanthropy to support an amphitheater that was being built in Southern California. Once it was built, they went to the opening night, and then they kept going to shows there, and they were just absolutely floored at the ability music has to bring together people across all walks of life, no matter your socioeconomic status, your beliefs, just anything. Music is the great uniter. And they were so moved that they started this foundation. And we were one of the first cities to be taken on as Levitt Amp City. I believe when it started, there were 15, and they have continued to expand. There's now over 66 Levitt Amp locations across the country, and they're completely independently run by organizations like us and different nonprofits and local towns. So it all starts with a grant from them, and then we need to get matches from community sponsors and community supporters. So that is kind of the basis for the whole thing.
Okay.
And this is, it's kind of the double anniversary year because this is also our 10th anniversary of the concerts. So in that spirit, I thought, well, if this is the big anniversary year, that's one thing I get a lot as the executive director there is, people love popping in the office and chatting, and they are always requesting their favorite Levitt bands to come back.
When you're in charge, everybody wants to tell you what to do.
That's right. And, I do my best to listen because I feel like we're really kind of the center of the cultural community in Carson City. And it's important to me to keep the door open and keep the ideas flowing and really make sure that we are serving the community in the way they want to be served. And so I've just taken mental note of all the most requested bands to have back, and I got every single one of them that I could still afford.
Oh, that's great. That's an important part, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean that some of them have outgrown the budget over the years because they were coming up when they came through the series?
Well, Gina really made some smart moves early in the series because she knew that she kind of needed to go over budget in the early days on a few shows to just really catch the community's attention. So the Whalers came and played.
Right. Okay.
But even then, I've still managed to have some pretty huge bands come and play. I think it was 2 years ago, or actually it might have been 3 years ago. So my first year there, probably the only art exhibition I will ever curate myself in the space was I wanted to do this retrospective on rock and roll posters.
Oh, cool.
A lot of people don't realize that the first ever psychedelic rock poster is universally agreed by everyone in that field to be for a show at the Red Dog Saloon.
Oh, really? That's fascinating.
Yeah, it was for a Charlatans show, and it's vintage rock poster collectors and psychedelic poster enthusiasts. They all call it the Seed because everything grew from that.
Huh, okay.
So we started with this show called Seed of the Movement, how psychedelic rock took root in Nevada. Because, again, that's what I'm really interested in, is telling these Nevada stories that people might not know. And so I got a lot of posters from a lot of wonderful folks, including an original pristine copy of The Seed. Had my mom a big psychedelic poster collection herself, and I borrowed all of her Big Brother and the Holding Company posters because we were able to get Big Brother and the Holding Company. That was Janis Joplin's band for anyone who doesn't know. And they're still touring. The original bass player, original drummer, Darby Gould from Jefferson.
Airplane Starship.
One of the Jefferson aviation conglomerates, yes. But we had them come down and play for Levitt, so we are still able to snag those kind of household name bands.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So who's coming this year?
Well, I am just excited week after week after week. So we're kicking it all off June 20th with Igor and the Red Elvises.
I love the Red Elvises.
They are just one of the most fun live bands you could ever see. I don't even know.
Oh, that's great.
It's like an Eastern Bloc lounge act.
I had them playing on almost on repeat for a good year when I first heard them.
Yeah.
Because they were just so much fun. They were like a surf band, and they played like versions of, what's Dick Dale stuff from back in the 60s, 50s, and they have a great attitude. They're just fun. Like they're winking always at you. Like, we get it. We're having 100%. A good time. We're all having fun here, and it's just, we're going to pretend to be these dudes. And I just love their sound and their vibe.
100%. And I thought that was the perfect energy to kind of kick things off this year. Just really start with something big, something fun. Then coming up the following week, we have a band that has appeared quite a few times over the series, Samba Da.
Nice. Oh, we should probably start by saying the dates. Like, when is the first date?
June 20th.
Okay.
June 20th for the Red Elvises. June 27th for Samba Da. 4th of July falls on a Saturday this year. So we are taking the 4th of July off. Everything that we do at this organization, we have a very small staff, and we rely so heavily on a really dedicated and really amazing volunteer base.
Yeah.
And so I really do my best to respect and appreciate them and try to not give them unreasonable asks. Like, hey, will you give up your 4th of July?
Right.
So
Right. Well, wouldn't it be hard anyway to arrange this event on top of whatever other events are already going to be happening that day? I mean,
100%.
You want to give everybody their best shot at coming to the show.
Yeah.
And they're not all going to be available, either volunteers or audience, on that day.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shows that I'll go head to head with. I mean, I never consider things a competition. I'm very collaborative with all the venues. But of all the shows you don't want to compete with, America's Birthday, pretty tough one.
Yeah, fair enough.
They've got a pretty big name.
Yeah, this year especially. Right?
That's right.
It's an extra special 250. So yeah.
So then we resume again on July 11th, and I'm so excited to bring this band back. Their name is Indigenous. They're a blues band from South Dakota, and Mato is the name of the guitar player, and he's on so many of the top 100 guitarists lists, and he goes out a lot of times with the Experience Hendrix tour, and he's just he really is like one of the living legends when it comes to playing guitar, and I'm so thrilled to have them back. July 18th, an act from Ohio, the Vindies. This is absolutely the #1 most requested band to have back.
Okay.
Since my first day there, everyone has told me, you got to get the Vindies. You got to get the Vindies. I have tried to line that up for the last 3 years. Schedules have not quite aligned with their tour route and with our available dates. And I think it was because the universe just wanted us to wait till the 10th anniversary year.
It said anniversary year is what you get. So,
that's right.
Perfect.
Then July 25th, we have the Sam Chase. He has multiple times won the People's Choice for Best Songwriter in San Francisco. He's played Brewery Arts Center a number of times as a solo act, but this time he's bringing his full 7-piece band. Truly incredible.
Okay.
Every instrument you can think of.
So is his name Sam Chase and the band is The Sam Chase?
His name is The Sam Chase.
Really?
Well, there was a famous political figure, and I think he's trying to differentiate himself.
Gotcha.
And his band is named The Untraditional.
Okay.
So it's The Sam Chase and The Untraditional is the full band name.
I like that.
And then coming up August 1st, a great band out of Oakland that we had a few years ago called Van Goat. They list their genre as swing punk.
Swing punk.
And they're just like so fun, and their keyboard guy is just an absolute riot, and he has this whole electrode-y setup thing, and he plugs these wires into a pineapple, and he's like literally playing the pineapple while he's playing the keyboard, and it's triggering all of these synthesizer sounds. So, fun is number one on this series.
Great.
And that's what Gina told me when she was passing the torch to me. She's like, you just got to make sure no matter who you book, everyone can dance. And this is, I think, my most danceable summer yet. The only act that is not a returning act this year is on August 8th. And a lot of listeners might know this name, Jakota Was. He's a younger country artist out of the Minden-Gardnerville area. And he's just taken off. He's spreading like wildfire.
Okay.
His online numbers are huge. He has so many hometown fans. Because that has always been a staple of these Levitt shows is to have a local headliner.
That might be the biggest crowd you get then if he's local.
Yeah, it very well could be. And, this year I was like, we always do one local headliner, but there's no rule that says I can only have one local headliner. So I'm bringing back one of my favorite Northern Nevada bands, Jelly Bread.
Oh, nice.
Likely the most danceable band to ever exist. So that is going to be a good night to get out and get moving. Celtic Night, always a huge hit at the series. So I'm bringing back the Young Dubliners.
Oh, great.
Which that was my number one priority for this year. They have, a lot of thought went into the choices on the bands we were bringing back. And I wanted to bring back the Young Dubliners because several years ago, my band at the time, 6 Mile Station, we opened the Young Dubliners show as part of this series.
Oh, cool.
And that was the day, Gina said, man, I got this really great opportunity to go run Center for the Arts in Escondido. Would you ever consider taking a position like this? And so that inspired me to apply, and I wound up getting the job.
Wow.
And so I had booked series and done a lot of stuff with Brewery Arts over the years leading up to this. But that Young Dubliners concert was really kind of the defining moment in the next steps forward.
Extra special then to have them come back because that was extra meaningful to you. That's cool.
And then I'm really glad I was able to work out our closing show. It's August 29th. And the band is Mumbo Gumbo. And I chose Mumbo Gumbo because they were the first band 10 years ago to play the Levitt Amp Carson City Music Series. So it's just going to be this really great full circle moment to wrap things up.
Oh, that's spectacular. And the name that I've heard for years, right? That's a big name too. So what a great lineup you have this year.
Yeah. And
wow.
In addition to these incredible acts, I have a bunch of incredible sponsors. If you don't mind me just shouting out my appreciation to them.
I understand how this works. I've worked for public media. Make sure those people who help me make it happen get some credit.
That's right. So like I said, the Levitt Family Foundation, that's what it all starts with, is their grant. It is a matching grant. And our presenting sponsor this year is Connection Central, which is really cool because they are an organization that does a ton at Brewery Arts Center as well. It's a new organization started in Carson City a few years ago, and their whole mission is building community through storytelling.
Nice. I like that.
Which is very in line with our mission. So once a month they have guest speakers and breaks out into small discussion groups. Just a really cool thing, and they're spreading out. They're getting more and more, kind of satellite meetings through Nevada and even starting to spread into other states. So it's really great to have them as part of the BAC family, and amazing that they are so generous with their support.
Yeah.
Another longtime supporter, Kilpatrick Bolentini Law Firm, the Max Casino, and the Federal Hotel. The Federal Hotel puts up all of these bands and treats them like gold. And we have the Nashville Social Club. They do all of the green room catering. So
Nice. I'm a fan.
I'm a huge fan of the Nashville Social Club. And
they have, speaking of good music, they often have their own terrific performers coming into town.
They do. They have amazing concerts. And just a little bit of trivia about Nashville Social Club. John Procaccini, the fellow who started it, him and Kitty McKay. John has been just an amazing staple of the music industry for years. He's Peter Frampton's tour manager.
Yeah.
He's worked with the Doobie Brothers. I mean, if somebody knows music and somebody knows how to treat artists, it is John and Kitty, and I'm so glad that they support our series. Visit Carson City, the local tourism authority. They've been huge supporters of the series and the BAC as a whole. And of course, PBS Reno is our lawn sponsor this
what do you
year.
know?
Yeah,
We're on there.
And the Downtown Business Association, Armac Construction, just tons and tons of folks. They truly are full scale, nothing left out concert experiences. It really takes the whole community, and we are just so lucky that we have so many great volunteers to pull it off, on the front lines, and so many community partners and sponsors to support it.
Well, I think that it's the only way to make these things happen.
Yeah.
And I not to blow smoke or anything, but I think that it really does make the events more special when they are the result of collaborative work and support from a lot of people and a lot of agencies, because it's not just you working and making a thing happen. It's you working with people and organizations to see it through. And also it's nice to know that other people feel the same way you do about the value of this.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like seeing that too. So you mentioned the speaker series, and I wanted to touch on that because beyond this incredible summer concert series, which is annual, you've got year-round events and performances and exhibitions, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
We're recording this on May 14th, and it'll be posted in a few days to try to get ahead of it so people will know what's coming for the show, because I'd love to make sure you get a great audience for all this. And if anybody learns of it from this podcast and shows up, I'd be thrilled. But beyond that, you've got all kinds of other things going on at this point in your year, middle of May. What's coming up in the next, say, month or two that might inspire someone who's listening to come down and participate?
Sure. Yeah, we have some great stuff coming up. One thing I love about Brewery Arts Center is we are kind of the de facto home for a lot of other nonprofits that do most of their events and operating out of our space.
Yeah, great venue.
Yeah, one of those is Silver State Storytellers, and they do a few short film competitions throughout the year. So June every year is their sci-fi short film competition.
Oh, fun.
It's called Moon Rocks. And basically, I believe when this comes out, folks will still have just a little bit of time to register. Basically, you register your team, and then you get 2 weeks to make a short film, and they give you a line of dialogue you need to work in and a prop you need to work in, and just one or two other little prompts like that, which is something that had happened through a different nonprofit before the pandemic, and then, as many things do, just did not resume.
Yeah.
And Lyric and Taylor are the guys who started this Silver State Storytellers, and they do so much for the community now, but one of the main focuses was bringing back these film competitions. They've done an incredible job. I mean, it's like a full house every time, and the quality of the stuff coming in is
varied, good.
For sure, but a lot of it shockingly good. Yeah. So that's really incredible. That's coming up June 16th. Coming up June 12th through the 14th. This is another big collaborative event with us and a lot of other folks. The Pride event in Carson City for many years was called Sassabration. They always held it at Sassafras Eclectic Food Joint.
Good restaurant.
Yeah, and which we always supported. We were always a part of it from day one.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, we just let them use the mobile stage. That's one great thing about having this mobile stage is it's helped us support a lot of the other arts organizations and just cool community things.
How mobile is this stage? You could just drive it around?
Yeah, it's so that was actually one of the first things I did when I got there is they were working on building a permanent stage. And the dollar amount for that. Just kept going higher and higher as things go on. And then, between myself and the board and our production manager, we just came to the conclusion that since we were building a stage to not have to rent a stage anymore, maybe if we just bought a mobile stage, then we could rent it out when we were not using it. So that's exactly what we did. And it is state of the art. It was built specifically for us. It's, 22 feet deep, 33 feet long, hydraulic roof, and you can tow the whole thing with a 1-ton truck. So it is very mobile.
Nice.
It is very mobile. So so we had been giving it to Sasabration, and then, Jamie and Tony, they have been in the restaurant business for years and years, and they are getting ready to sail off into the sunset, and they have put so much work into this event, they wanted to make sure that it wound up in good hands. So last year we worked together, we kind of co-produced the event, and now we have rebranded it as Nevada Pride. Brought the event back to June. So we're doing 3 days. June 12th, Silver State Storytellers is doing a film screening for a film called Trick. And then on Saturday, June 13th, from 12 to 6, out in the parking lot at BAC, we'll have bands on the stage all day. Tons and tons of vendors in the vendor market, lots of informational booths. And then we have an after party, the Punk Rock Black Box.
Fun.
For the many years of Sasabration, there were just like tons of great punk bands who always lended their talents and their efforts. And so we're moving that inside to the theater this year. Last year we had the main stage outside and we're bouncing people back and forth between the Punk Rock Black Box. And we thought, this year let's just let folks enjoy outside and then we'll all come and enjoy inside and it'll be a grand old time. And then June 14th, that Sunday, we are partnered up with Nashville Social Club. We're doing a drag brunch. They've got an incredible menu put together, prime rib carving stations, bottomless mimosas, all of that stuff.
You're speaking my language.
That's right. And our host is Adana Dusmore. So she has rounded up some lovely talent to perform with her as well. So just 3 days of fun. And that's just a week before the concert. So,
It leads you right into the art series. Okay, so I for years have seen Levitt Amp, and I don't remember what AMP stands for.
Amplified Music Place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Levitt supporting these places.
Yeah, basically.
And they're all over the country.
Yeah, so the way the Levitt Family Foundation has it structured is there's 3 different tiers of it. There's Levitt Block, which is a really great program that operates in like major metropolitan cities, but in underserved neighborhoods and underserved communities to bring arts to the neighborhoods that are not necessarily getting funding for the arts.
Yeah, gotcha.
Then they have the Levitt Amps, which I believe we're one of like 65 of them now. They've expanded tons. Okay. And then the big boys are the Levitt Pavilions, and there's 11 of those across the country. They do 50 shows a year, a lot of, kind of A-list names going through there as well. Sure.
Yeah. The biggest ones where the budgets are bigger and the communities are bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for that clarity. I always would see Levitt Amp and I think, AMP makes me think of amplifier, but it's probably an acronym. But for what? Amplified Music Place. That solves it. Okay. I was doing a little research before we came together today, and I looked at the website, breweryarts.org.
That is the one.
And there's a link to see the who we are sort of thing, and there's a list of the staff, and there's a picture that has your name under it, but what it looks like is you balancing a guitar on your chin. Is that what I'm seeing?
That is what you're seeing. Yeah, that was that was from one of the years that I got to come as an opening act. I believe that time I was a solo act opening for the Dead Winter Carpenters. And
So while the guitar is balancing, I'm guessing it's not making any music. Or is it just holding a note?
No. Well, you wouldn't be able to hear any music because of the thunderous applause it gets.
I was impressed. But I must say, it did not prepare me to meet you because I thought, I still don't know what this guy looks like. Hey, this has been great. Come back again when there's stuff year round. So
absolutely,
let's talk more about other programs you've got going on or other events as they come, because you guys are nonstop, and I want to make sure that anything I can do to help get the word out, the better.
Absolutely, yeah, I would love that.
Well, thank you so much for the time today. And before we go, I want to remind everybody. If you're watching this on PBS Reno by chance, but you don't listen to podcasts normally, check out more podcasts like this on the website, pbsreno.org. We've learned that a lot of people who don't listen to podcasts on the phone do listen to things on their computer. And so I want to encourage you to go there if you're interested in more of these. Now, also want to encourage you to watch Artifacts on PBS Reno. That's through broadcast or streaming, pbsreno.org, the YouTube channel, or the PBS app. Also, read Art Views, all those great columns at pbsreno.org. And if you have a question or maybe a comment or a suggestion, if so, please send them to me at podcasts@pbsreno.org. My thanks again to Spike McGuire, and thank you for listening to PBS Reno Arts. Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org.